Hi! We're here!
We're back.
We're back. We're back for more Purrfect Date! I'm so excited. Maybe we'll beat the game today, Joe.
I hope this is the last researcher we kill.
It's not. We're gonna kill all 6 of them. Or maybe we'll kill 5. So if you've missed, this is ostensibly some sort of cat dating game, but it's more like some sort of like mystery novel cat dating thing. It's interesting. Maybe we'll kiss a cat finally. Yeah, so far we've absolutely failed at romancing these cats, but I don't want to romance them, so it's fine.
Yeah, I think a cheek kiss doesn't count. It wasn't like that.
No. And hey, Frontier Kitty subscribed for 2 months in a row, and Cheetos8 subscribed for 12 months in a row, saying celebrating 1 year of Dave's Cheetos, theoretically cheese snacks, perfectly formulated for cats and humans to eat. Cheetos cheese snacks, they're definitely food. So, yeah. Alright, let's get started.
Woo.
Meow. We're on. Yeah, Brad, right. Right. So Jolene was great, and then she died, and we were like, what? And then so we're like, okay, well, let's kill Kenneth. And Kenneth was very keen, and I was not as nearly as sad when he died.
Yeah, because the personality's fit.
Yeah. And Brad, I kind of like Brad, actually. He's better than I thought he would be. Saint Alia of the Knife subscribed for 2 months in a row, saying, woo, now 2 months, woo, now more, now kiss. How's the audio levels? How do we sound as compared to the game? So, continue. Alright. So, if we finish research, we're done.
Yeah.
Have we got any new recon to do? Oh.
What?
Well, sometimes we see things when we rest now. It's not a waste of time. Yeah, see? There you go. Trixie and Kibbles have brought me to the ridge where the pools of colored water collect. We call them the rainbow pools. It's a beautiful day and there's a vivid rainbow across the sky. Kibbles is on the other side from me shouting. Wow, look at this, come over here. Sounds further away than he is. My hearing isn't quite right, but I don't mind. What is it? You need to see it. Suddenly I'm beside him. I'm looking over the edge of the cliffs. When I look down, the sea is further away than I expect. It's such a long way down. You see? I feel a push from behind, and as I begin to fall, I hear Trixie laugh.
Curiosity did what?
I'm not falling at all. I'm floating, light as a feather.
Fly, little bird, fly away from home.
This is the best feeling ever. I know I'm going higher now, up towards the rainbow. I'm going to touch it.
Mind you don't get scorched by the sun.
I feel myself being shaken.
Who me? You really ought to go in now. It's too hot out here to sleep.
I'm on the patch of scrub grass beside my tent. I was just having a moment of shut-eye in the sun, but I must have fallen asleep. Oh, thank you, Trixie. I smile at the calico cat as I surreptitiously scratch at the prickly heat on my legs.
Okay.
So we had a fever dream.
Yep.
Alright, refreshed. What recon do we have the option to do here?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Okay, research. Nothing. Oh wait, no, so research 3. You want to do a feeding duty?
Okay.
It's too early. The world isn't meant to be seen before 7 o'clock. These early mornings are still a shock to me, but I'm hitting my stride quicker. I like to get the kittens fed and cleaned out before my breakfast. It's easier to do it before the rest of the camp is awake because there are less distractions. Sorry, I gotta turn my headphones down a bit. I prepare the mush and my stomach turns at the milky smell so early in the day. I get the swap tray ready and grab a handful of kitty treats. Hello, babies! I peer into the cage of the sleeping kittens. So cute. They're just waking up and they're ready for breakfast. I do a quick head count. 12. Good. No one tunneled out in the night. Come on then, let's get you swabbed and fed. Om nom nom nom. I grab the first sleepy kitten, no more than a ball of fluff, and as it opens its mouth to yawn, I dart in with the swab, bottle it, and on to the next fur ball.
You're good. You're getting good at this.
Oh, Trix, you're up early.
Going to bed late, actually.
I keep swabbing, and in no time at all, I've got 12 little cats in their into the feeding cage and have begun clearing out the sleeping area.
Aw, cute! How long will they stay here for?
I'm not sure. Generally, they're kept here for about 10 weeks, and then some are released back into the wild immediately, but some are moved to be examined further. I'm still getting the hang of how it all works around here.
It's a shame that they aren't all released, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose so, but they'll all be released eventually, just some later than the others.
You think so?
Well, yes, unless they're very poorly, like Ravenpaw. Trixie winces at the mention of the black cat's name.
Very few of those kittens actually get released into the wild, Brad.
What do you mean? Of course they do, as long as they're healthy.
Oh, wow. And you know this, do you? You release them yourself?
Well, no, but Professor Popper told me that the kittens get discharged at between 10 to 12 weeks.
Oh, I see.
Trixie smiles, but it looks fake.
If I were you, I'd take one of this litter.
Oh no, they're too young for tagging. You have to wait till they're at least 12 weeks.
That one over there, he looks very healthy. I'm sure if you tag him, you'd be able to see for yourself what happens to the healthy kittens.
I go to answer, and I hear the breakfast bell in the distance.
Oh, Cinderella has to fly.
And the calico cat is gone as quickly as she appeared. Come on then, like kitties, let's get you back into your nice, clean cage. I can't help but think about what Trixie has said. She seemed genuinely concerned, and there must be some basis for that. After all, she's been here a lot longer than me. Maybe tagging one of these kittens would be such a bad idea. What would be the harm? Definitely tag.
Yes.
Come on then, back to... Before I even finish my sentence, my hand has grabbed the chipping pen and I've tagged the plump gray male. Probably silly, but it won't harm you and it could teach me something useful.
Tag!
Oh, got a cheapo for that, and we unlocked Research 7.
Yes, good decisions. I hope.
I hope so. So, what is Research 7 all about? Right. Now I have more to do. Romance time! Who are we talking to? Oh,
Sphinx.
Snooty Booty!
Oh,
Yeah, look, Ravenpaw's the unlock.
okay, okay. Be a dare, would you?
Snooty Booty is in the habit of now holding out a limp, manicured paw for me to massage. I resignedly oblige.
Oh, do you know? That reminds me. I have something for you.
Something for me?
Oh, look at you with your mouth agape. Do close it. You'll embarrass us both.
I hate Snooty Booty.
I liked her with your eyes.
I'm sorry, I just didn't expect you to ever think of me when I'm not with you. Brad's such a fucking doormat.
Yeah, maybe they were just doing that to match Snooty Booty.
Why would anybody in their right mind be like, yes, I'm into this kind of relationship? This is like Findom without the financial.
Yes.
It's just,
With
it's
cats.
emo-dom. It's emotional domination.
Mhm.
Some people might get, it's not for me. It's not for me.
Ha! You two make me laugh, human. Oh my, are you serious? Well, I'll have you know, I think of you a great deal. You're my most faithful subject, don't you know? Now, if you want your gift, carry me further down the beach, and I'll show you where I hid it.
Cradling the hairless cat like a baby, I stroll barefoot along the beach. Snooty Booty directs me with a wave of her paw every now and then. After a while, she loudly commands that I stop and put her down.
Here.
Snooty says with her regular level of enthusiasm, pointing a perfectly fouled claw at a mound of sand.
I buried it.
I suppose you want me to dig it up then, eh, Boots?
Ah! You always know what to say to make me laugh, human. It's quite a talent, I tell you.
With a sigh, I start digging. Thankfully, she didn't bury it very deep. After a few seconds, I find a small object wrapped in a silk scarf.
We wouldn't want sand getting into it, would we, dear?
Snooty Booty says with a small smile. I carefully open the flimsy silk bundle and turn the contents over in my hands. It's a little black tub with a plain label stuck to it that reads Skin Cream P103.
Do you love it?
What is it?
Oh dear, can you not read?
Yes, it says skin cream, but I don't know what that entails.
Oh, you see, one massages skin cream into one's skin.
Yeah, I understand that, Boots, but whose is this? Where did you find it?
Well, it's yours now, human.
I roll my eyes and further inspect the tub. It's very small and plain, with no cosmetic logo or name to be found. I open the plastic lid, and sure enough, it's full to the brim with goop. I scoop out some with my index finger and smell it. It smells disgusting, like bin juice or something. Ugh, Boots, I can't put this on my skin. I'm going to attract all sorts of bugs and wildlife.
I'm sorry. Did Snooty Bitty repurpose this canister that we had already found on the beach?
No, I think this is something she stole from the lab, I'm guessing.
I remember that incident where she, like, rubbed skin cream into her skin and we're like, no, and we had to wash it off in the sea?
Yes.
Wasn't that the same canister?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Is she just regifting this for us?
I don't know.
Or is the gift the fact that we are going to rub it on her?
Yes, the gift is the fact that we are going to be rubbing skin cream into her. We're going to be massaging this cat.
I'm glad it wasn't full of something else.
Ugh.
Oh, come on now. We must suffer for our beauty, mustn't we?
What is this stuff? Yeah. Booty, where did you get it from?
All I ask is that you try some on your skin and tell me you don't see instant results.
Oh, God. Snooty, have you been using this stuff?
Of course. We told you not to.
Without knowing where it's come from?
But I know exactly where it's come from.
Well then, will you please let me in on the secret?
Oh, calm down, human. You'll give yourself more wrinkles.
Wow.
Let us take a moment to ponder how my generosity in giving you
I have
both...
a cup on the go already.
I thought so.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Here, I will get that in a minute. Just leave it out on the counter. Cam, that was very helpful. I thought that was the I'm gonna make more coffee signal.
No, I thought, yeah.
My thumbs up was that I have cold brew cream soda.
I saw that you did indicate a ball. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, well, I thought it was like, we're out of coffee, make more!
Yay, Cam.
We are expert communicators here at Loading Ready Run.
Wrinkles.
Yeah.
A thoughtful gift has developed into you interrogating me in such a brutish manner.
Snooty Booty, I do apologize and I thank you sincerely. Of course, I am touched by your generosity and your consideration. However, I am also quite concerned for your welfare. Did you take this from the lab?
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh, thank goodness.
I took it from the stockpile behind the lab, where the fire pits are. Fire.
I'm trying to do that, you know, the... There you go. There's some Nathan Fillion face filling for you.
Very good.
You mean the incinerators? Snooty, did you take this from the toxic waste bins?
I have no idea what they're called, but they routinely give forth the most incredible produce. Waste is indeed a fitting word.
I think you'll find toxic is the objective word in that title, Snoots. The contents of those bins are meant to be burned. But why are they burning skin cream? I further scrutinized the tub and conclude that it really is some kind of beauty product. This makes no sense. Actually, Princess, this is a fantastic present, and I'm going to take it right now for further examination. Thank you so much for this.
Well, finally, a little gratitude.
I am very grateful.
Well, you can report back to me with how splendid you look after a few applications.
Oh, I will. One thing though, Snooty, just to be clear, have you been using this?
I have. Please don't throw me in the water again.
And no problems.
As you can see, human, my skin is as smooth and clear as porcelain.
Yeah, so why incinerate it?
Speak up, human. You're mumbling.
Nothing, Snooty. I just need your word that you will not use any more products that you find near the lab again. Okay?
Oh, I see your game, human. You want to be the fairest of them all, eh?
No, that's not it.
Very well, human. I shall go au naturel for a while, and you will see how, without even a touch of skin cream, I am still as radiant as a star.
Oh, okay, Snooty. Challenge accepted.
Indeed.
Oh.
Something new.
That's definitely the recon on the skin cream.
Yes.
I'm worried about the skin cream Snooty found. It'd feel a lot better if I took some time to analyze it.
Yep.
I'm so scared of what this game is leading us to. We're not gonna like it.
No.
No, we're gonna be sad.
We're gonna feel terrible. We love cats so much, and this is just not going to work out.
No, this is gonna be awful. Professor Popper is a monster.
Yep.
How does Snooty Pooty keep finding experimental cosmetics? We're on an island in the middle of nowhere. It makes no sense. And one from the incinerator, no less? Christ! I decide to run some tests on it. Snooty Booty developed some nasty welts after using this cream. I want to see what it's made from. I have a feeling this is not something the professor would want me to be poking around in, so I've come to the lab late at night to make sure I don't get any unwanted attention. I'm quickly able to identify a number of common natural skincare ingredients like shea butter, and shea butter, coconut oil, and chamomile. But there are some components that I can't immediately identify. I check for cat saliva. Maybe we're looking at the same kind of product as the stuff Snooty Booty found washed up on the beach, but no match. I run the samples to the database of organic compounds to see if there are other matches. As I suspected, this cream uses some other cat-based ingredients. Sometimes it looks like cat urine is being used. I better not share that little discovery with Snooty Booty. I decide to check out for any clues by the incinerators. Maybe I can find a little more about where these things are coming from. Phoenix Turn has subscribed for 6 months in a row, saying Kathleen, Joe, and Kat sounds like a good time to resub. At the back of the tent area, there are a couple of large pits that are for the disposal of harmful waste from the lab. There's nothing incinerating right now, so I can dig around a little in the smoldering ashes. I'm tentatively moving the debris around with a stick, and so far it's just soot and cinders. No clues. Suddenly, the silence is disrupted by the sound of somebody entering the lab. I make myself scarce by crawling around the far side of a nearby bush. As luck would happen, I happen to have ended up at an ideal vantage point to be able to see into the lab through a gap in the canvas.
Oh no!
2 men enter with a large crate. I recognize them as the ferryman and his son. Professor Popper is with them. He directs them to place the crate on the worktop. The professor reaches in and brings out a small tub that looks identical to the one Snooty Booty found. My guess is that this is the next batch in for testing. The professor stops what he's doing and abruptly looks at his catalog. I presume he's receiving a phone call. He dismisses the 2 men with a wave of his hand. As soon as they've gone, he turns his attention to the catalog. He looks anxious as he speaks.
Yes, they've just been delivered. I shall make a start first thing tomorrow morning. Yes, ma'am. I certainly will, ma'am. With all due respect, I do understand the urgency, but I'm sure you understand the need for thoroughness. I can assure you, it will be ready for the deadline. Testing on sample 104 is going far more smoothly than 103. The improvements are very encouraging.
There's a long silence. From the expression on his face, I imagine he's being lectured.
It's very important to cross-check it with the data here. The island itself has a significant effect on the samples. We still have some tests left to do. We're making progress, of course. I shall let you know straight away.
The call ends abruptly. Presumably, Madam cut him off. He looks angrier than I've ever seen him. He marches out of the lab and heads off in the direction of his tent. I sneak away from the bushes and head back to my own tent. I can continue with my investigations another time.
Only one more thing left to do, but we have to rest first.
Yep. Jay Blanc subscribed for 20 months in a row. Soylent Green is made from cat urine. Soylent Green is cat urine. You have a lovely nap and wake up feeling revitalized. Yay!
How we can do something romance. I wonder if we've had a successful date or not.
I think so.
Another cat we're not going to smooch.
I've come to Snooty Booty's tree to apply some coconut oil to her skin, which has now become a weekly appointment. But I'm surprised to see she isn't here.
No.
I hang around for a while because it's so unlike her to miss a pampering session. Eventually I give up and head back to camp. I need to call by the Marigold's cottage en route so that I can pick up a bunch of herbs for tonight's supper. Mrs. Marigold has a wonderful array of different edible plants growing in her garden, and she encourages me to make good use of them. I'm almost finished picking what I need when I notice a cat slink out the back door of the cottage. Snooty Booty, is that you? She stops and looks about furtively before approaching me.
What on earth are you doing, crouching amongst the vegetation? Are you trying to conceal yourself? Because I must tell you, you're doing a poor job indeed.
Of course I'm not. Why would I be concealing myself in Mrs. Marigold's herb garden?
I don't know, human. So much of your behavior baffles me. Perhaps you were spying on me.
Why on earth would I do that? Unless, of course, you're up to something. I'm joking, but I notice that the Sphinx cat has turned a brighter shade of her usual pink. Are you up to something, Snooty?
Really? I have no idea what grounds you think you have to accuse me, but I refuse to stand here and be interrogated for a moment longer. Goodbye.
She spun around and is making off at a lick. I have to run to catch up with her. Snoots, wait, I was only teasing. What's got into you?
And there you go again with your probing and questioning.
Oh dear, we seem to have gotten off on the wrong foot today. Let's start again, shall we? Hello, Snooty Booty. How lovely to see you. She still looks a bit flustered, but at least she stopped running.
Good afternoon, Brad. I apologize for my impetuous reaction, but I was feeling rather stalked.
Huh?
I appreciate that it cannot be comfortable for you to be cast aside, but I would hope that we can all behave in a civilized manner.
Cast aside?
Quite.
Because you didn't turn up for your massage?
Well, actually, for the sake of accuracy, I did turn up for my massage, but not with you.
It takes a moment for me to work out what she means. Someone else massaged you?
Try not to upset yourself. There's no need for a scene.
Who?
Is that important?
Yes, it is, because I can't imagine anyone else. I love the read I'm doing on this, by the way. I can't imagine anybody else would.
Care for me? Is that what you were going to say?
Actually, I was trying to work out how. Without thumbs, it wouldn't be easy.
Not a cat. Don't be ridiculous. The very thought of a feline trying to negotiate coconut oil? Really, Brad?
So who? Then I realized that Snoots came out of the marigolds. Well, well, Miss Booty, have you wrapped yourself around a certain caretaker?
Try not to be too disappointed. You're very sweet and very willing, which is always a boon.
But
the clue is in the title caretaker. There's a level of commitment required to care for a Sphinx properly. You did the best you could, but you are always going to be distracted by work.
And Mr. Marigold is less distracted?
Well, he certainly is more willing to indulge me. I think he rather enjoys my more challenging requirements.
Whereas I tried to change you?
You did your best. It was rather valiant effort. No one can take that away from you.
Well, I shall take that as a compliment.
He dotes on me, you know.
No more than you deserve.
How kind of you to say.
I wish you every happiness, Snooty Booty.
And I you. But more importantly,
Yes?
the oil. I believe you have a fresh bottle. If you could just pop it back there on the doorstep, Mr. M will get it later.
I can't help but laugh at her audacity. As I watch her sashay off, I feel a little sad that I won't be her most loyal servant anymore, but only a very little bit. Only a very little bit. Wow, we got broken up with.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no. I don't know. I'd rather do all the heartbreaking, but... Gotta push
That's two
forward.
cats that broke up with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we
Yes,
turned...
we didn't give her the leaf. The leaf of water.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well, whatever.
You
I
were
don't...
like,
I don't...
get it yourself, and that's fine. That's who we are.
I don't want to date somebody that needy. That's too much. It's too much to ask. I'm not ready to make that kind of commitment. This is one weird game. We're gonna die.
Yep.
Oh, I don't want to test experimental medicines on cats. This game is like really pushing me into my zone.
Let's try and make our best choices.
I arrived at the lab a little later than usual today. I got held up by the incredibly important task of petting all the cats I saw on the way in. Very crucial stuff.
Yes.
As I enter, I see a large unmarked wooden box on the table. Oh, thank you, contiguous kitty cat. Morning, Professor. I wasn't expecting you to be working alongside me today.
I'm not, I'm afraid. I'm actually rather in a hurry, but I need to explain to you a new protocol I'd like you to carry out for me.
He opens the lid of the crate, and inside are rows of small, clear bottles, each containing white fluid. What's this, milk?
No, these are samples from our offshore lab.
Samples of what?
So many questions. Curiosity is a marvelous trait for a scientist. Now, I want you to run some tests on these. I want you to check how they respond to contact with compounds 16, 18, and 24.
I notice how deftly he evaded my question.
Once you've done that, provided there are no complications, I'll need you to apply the same to some of the cats and record the results.
I beg your pardon?
Apply the samples to the cats, Brad. We're looking for specific reactions.
Of course, sir, but oughtn't I have a little bit of more information before I start applying an untested product on a living subject?
Look, Brad, I understand your concerns. Of course I do. However, once in a while, one has to trim the red tape, and this is one of those occasions. Now, I really am in the most awful rush, my dear, but I have complete faith in you.
Thanks, said previously Headache. And suddenly I'm alone. I pick up one of the samples from the box. It looks like a miniature milk bottle, but the fluid inside is creamier than milk. I retrieve the compounds from the cabinet that the professor wanted me to test and spend some time combining them with the sample. From what I can tell, the compounds are some kind of organic material, but no one has told me where they come from or what they actually are. I look at them under the microscope and one by one add a bit of the sample. It's a bit like glue, so it's hard to get it to combine, but once I do, something odd happens. The dead cells that make up the compound start to move excitedly. They aren't coming back to life exactly, but they are behaving like living cells. I have no idea what this stuff is or its intended use, but I do know that I feel uncomfortable applying it to live subjects. I look at the cats in their cages. They look back at me with trusting eyes. No. We're dying anyhow.
Yeah. Let's not do it.
No, I'm not going to do it. If the professor continues to withhold information, then it's only right that I put the responsibility back on him. He can carry out this procedure himself. I send Popper a message from my catalog. Professor, I feel I cannot continue in my task today until I understand the implications of what it is I'm being asked to do to the cats. I don't get a reply right away. Eventually the catalog beeps. Professor Popper has replied. We're doomed. Well, yeah, but we're doomed a long time ago. Brad really fucked it up. Brad's really an independent thinker, despite the fact that he's going out with Snooty Booty.
Yep.
Oh dear. Oh.
That's disappointing.
I'd be happy to comply if you could just give me a little bit more information.
If you are really having such difficulties in carrying out your duties, perhaps it would be best for me to find someone who is better equipped.
I'm afraid I'm going to lose my job if I don't administer the sample. No! Brad also, like...
We're dead.
We're dead anyhow. I feel the implicit threat. I'm sorry you see it that way, sir. I love my job here, but this oversteps a personal boundary.
Collect your things. You can catch the boat in the morning.
I still can't quite believe what happened, that I'm heading home already.
No!
I went to see the professor in his tent last night to discuss our difference of opinion. I was hoping to straighten things out that I could continue working here, but he wasn't there, and I received a curt message from him asking if I'd be on the boat first thing in the morning. So here I am, heading out to the jetty where the boat is waiting for me. I feel very alone in the morning mist. No one to wave me off. Oh well, it's too late for regrets now. I shall focus on the excitement of returning to my old life. Strange, even after such a short time, I can't seem to remember much about my life before. Joe, the ferryman's son, takes my bags and helps me onto the boat.
That was quick. You drink all the boss's whiskey or something?
Ugh, something. He looks at me suspiciously.
Must be bad then, playing with the cats instead of working.
Let's just go, shall we? I can't wait to get home.
And where would that be?
Uzek, I realized the notification for the stream said magic, but I really did update it in the Twitch backend, so I don't know why magic went out as the notification. I did my best. Wait, do you want to read that one more time?
And where would that be?
Huh?
You do know where your home is, don't you?
Don't be daft. But for some reason my mind won't focus and I can't seem to remember.
Where then?
It's...
Don't worry, you just sit there for a minute. Dad?
The elder man comes out of the cabin and joins us on the deck.
Got a problem here, son? I reckon so, if this one can't even remember their own name.
What? Yes, I can. It's... Before I can answer, the older man has pulled what looks like a gun from his coat and is aiming it at me.
It's not personal, Brad. We just have to take precautions. Can't have any problems reaching the mainland now, can we? We didn't even wave goodbye to a cat and we're dead. This is so unfair.
Oh! Ooh! We got
lost.
extra research.
Okay.
Oh, and Kudak says, Kathleen, first time seeing you guys listening to music last night. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Corey and Molly and I did an amazing music stream, and it was really rad. And large parts of it are probably not going to be muted because Molly brought some truly esoteric record picks that are probably not going to get tagged by algorithms. It was awesome.
The Doghouse. Chapter 3.
Wow, we only went on one successful date with Snooty Booting.
I wonder if we failed with the nail polish date.
Oh, probably. Alright.
You've been sacked? Alright.
I didn't complete the research because I refused to do it, though.
What does that mean? Maybe they won't be successful in whatever they're trying to do to the cats?
Wow. Alright, who's next? We've got this person, and this person.
Let's just go in order.
Alright, who's this?
She looks like a Stephanie.
She does. I was thinking it's an S name.
That's some choice spelling. I like that.
This is the dating sim version of Darkest Dungeon. I think Stephanie is very type A.
Well, what cats do we have left? This will be interesting. She contained Trixie.
Ah, what an amazing journey. I've always enjoyed being out on the open waters, and this was really smooth sailing. I almost skip off the wooden jetty to be greeted by a burly man in a security jacket.
How do you?
I rummage about in my bag until I find the laminated security pass I was issued with on the mainland.
Come on then, Skipper, and follow me.
Luckily, this guy isn't the sociable type, so I can take in the sights without distraction while we whiz along the forest path. It all looks so lush and green.
This is great. The boss is in there. Glad to have you aboard, Stephanie. Can we just go through a few formalities and then call it a day? That way you can get some rest before you start work properly tomorrow.
Sounds good to me, sir.
So, first, shall we have a little refreshment? I have water, coffee, or something stronger, perhaps gin. Is that new?
Gin's new.
Ooh, gin.
Gin?
For medicinal purposes! Look how excited he is.
Yes. He necks the bottle before handing it to me.
Much better. I find it settles the stomach. Have a try.
I hold the empty bottle self-consciously. The rest of the day is taken up with procedural stuff. Professor Popper showing me around the island personally. It is nice to get to know him a little bit. He's rather eccentric, but in a nice way. The thing that stands out most is my catalog. The technology is something else. I use it to scan some cats, but it can do so much more than that. The professor was most insistent that I keep it safe, which I intend to.
So, did he get drunk because he knows Brad died this time because it wasn't off shore?
I don't know. After settling into my tent, I make a discovery that really catches my attention. It's a notebook that was obviously written by my predecessor. They've left it under my bed, which is as good an invitation to read it as far as I'm concerned. I think it may be the first draft of a novel, and it's not bad either. I certainly have a vivid imagination. There are bizarre stories about talking cats and other island anomalies. They're obviously very inspired by their surroundings. I know the notification said MTG. Go to our Twitch tab. It really does say we're playing Purrfect Date. Like, yeah, there go. Oh, my go live. I didn't change the go live notification.
You just copy it from the title.
I mean, we've already went live now. All right, well, I tweeted about the right thing. I'm an idiot. Womp womp. We're not playing Magic. We're playing a really weird cat roguelike. I must say it's a great read. Imagine if it were true. I laugh at the little fantasies I snuggle down for my first sleep on Cat Island. Sometime in the middle of the night, I'm awoken by an intruder in my tent. Before my brain can catch up with what's going on, I've leapt from my bed shouting, "Who's there?" I scramble around for a few seconds before I realize that the notebook has been taken. The next thing I know, I'm running through the forest, barefoot, chasing what looks like a cat. This is insane. A wave of nausea rises up in me, and I realize I've come perilously close to the danger zone. Remembering the warnings in the notebook, I try to turn back, but my legs give way under me. I close my eyes tight as I hit the ground. I open my eyes. A calico cat is standing in front of me, and it drops the notebook from its mouth. I pass out. I'm laying on the sand, surrounded by cats looking down at me. Yeah, caught us a live one.
Move back, child. Yes, let them breathe, or they won't be alive much longer.
As my brain begins to defuzz, I realize this is what I was reading about in the novel. Only it wasn't a novel at all. My stomach tightens to a knot. It was a journal. I focus my eyes and pick out the big marmalade cat. Have I been bitten?
Well, of course you've been bitten. How else would you be able to hear us?
This one's an idiot.
Don't be rude.
The calico cat turns to me.
You know what's about being bitten? You read the journal?
Most of it.
Enough to understand what's happening here, Kara? Enough to know you have a choice to make?
I look from the cats to my scratched and bitten arms and back again. Of course, I will help the kitties, because I am a lady who has never not accomplished something in her life. Enough to know there's no choice. We have to help each other.
Bravo, Kara.
So let's cut to the chase. We've already done the chase bit.
Hush now. What do you need to know, human?
I'm still a bit dazed and in shock. Everything really. At that moment, it's my catalog starts beeping. It's telling me I have 15 minutes to get back to camp and start my first day at work. I have to go. Let me get myself together and we can catch up later.
I have a feeling you're going to do very well, Kara. The best one yet.
I'm just about to enter the lab and to begin my legitimate work when the catalog beeps. It says a message without any contact information.
In hot water, something.
Every ship has a captain.
Ah.
What the? I don't even... No, I've had just about enough mystery as a person could handle for one day. If you want to be anonymous, I take it you also don't mind being ignored. I have lucked into a great character reading here.
Soul read.
Blah. The professor's already working when I arrive, but I'm not too late, so there's no fuss. And I get through the day as efficiently as possible, and I head back to my tent as soon as my work is done. I want to get to grips with finding out all that I can. Stephanie is the kind of person who does sit-ups, and she's worked out the mathematical perfect amount of sit-ups that she needs to do to have flat abs without overworking.
To maintain.
Yes, exactly.
Extras.
Oh!
What does this mean? If this is just like a side story.
Maybe. Something has awoken me and I can't work out what it is. I'm so used to the sounds of the island by now. Waves crashing in and out, yowling, and the sounds of the occasional cat fight that they no longer disturb my sleep. Whatever it was seems to have stopped, so I bring my blanket up to my chin and allow my eyes to close. The sound of the waves gets fainter, and my mind drifts further and further away into the land of sleep. And suddenly I'm awake again. I hear a strange noise coming from somewhere nearby. From my very tent, in fact, it sounds like scratching. I strain to make it out. It's familiar but uncommon, like a pen on rough paper. Not a pen exactly, a quill, perhaps? I sit up abruptly and find myself alone in a tightly fastened tent. I reach for my torch to take a better look around and realize that I'm holding something in my fist. I don't remember grabbing anything. It's a folded piece of paper. I open it slowly, wary of what it might be. I must have written a note to remind myself of something and then forgotten that I'd even written it. This place certainly messes with your mind. I look at the elaborate, swirling cursive. That's definitely not my handwriting.
Do you need assistant? SH.
Yes? What is SH? I do a quick mental run-through of everyone on the island, and the initials don't fit anyone. Maybe it means shh, as in keep quiet, but even so, assistance with what? I stare at the piece of paper and wondering what could have slipped it into my hand while I was sleeping. And more importantly, why? I scrutinize the handwriting. It's unusual and beautiful. Normally, I would think this was some kind of practical joke, but it has been written by someone with such a deft hand that I cannot imagine anyone here being capable of this class of penmanship. This has been written by an artiste. Why would someone assume I needed assistance with something? In spite of myself, I begin to drift back to sleep.
Well. What? What? New cat!
This is amazing.
Well, do you need assistance?
I'm sorry, what? Who are you? I take out the catalog and try to scan the mysterious cat. No data available.
Who am I? Yes! Look at the little eyepiece. Oh, I love this.
This is amazing.
This is great.
Do you want to read Holmes as well?
Sure. If I might be permitted to make the introductions, Dr. John K. Watson. Most happy to make your acquaintance.
He holds out his little paw for me to shake. Hello!
And this is the legendary Sherlock C. Holmes at your service.
Sherlock doesn't even look at me. I think his ego may be bruised by me not instantly recognizing him.
We're here to help.
Help who?
Why, you, of course.
Oh, I wasn't aware that I needed help.
If you do not see that, you are not equipped to help yourself. I put it to you that you are in more need of our help than was previously understood. Look at that face. He's really wrong, so yes or no?
Yes, I do need assistance.
Sure.
Or, maybe?
Allow me to alleviate you of some of the questions that are inevitably swirling around in that tiny, diurnal brain of yours. It has come to my attention that you are interested in finding out more about the true nature of this island. That's a good thing. It indicates that you may not be quite as stupid as you look. Not really, Holmes. I would ask you to not insult our client. Oh, I do not mean to insult them. Surely, even they are not so stupid that they do not know how stupid they are. What? As I was saying, my interest has of course become sufficiently aroused as to prompt me to agree to aid in your endeavors to unravel the little mystery you have stumbled upon.
This is awesome. I'm very much yes-anding this game. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing everything that, yeah, you present me with something that I'm not supposed to be doing. Let's do this. Let's go outside the norm.
Yeah.
I want to do a lot of different stuff.
Clearly, we cannot do all the hard work for you, but we shall assist you to the best of our abilities. My abilities being far more useful than that of my colleague here, obviously. Now, Holmes, really. What my good friend here is trying to say is that we are at your service and we shall do our best to help you find the answers you seek to the questions you ask.
Well, I suppose that's very nice of you, but before we go any further, who sent you? Sherlock and Watson share an inscrutable look.
You really must focus on the right questions if we are going to make any progress. I shall appear with intelligence shortly. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning! What?
I sit up in bed again. Zane is calling through the tent flap.
Or should I say good afternoon?
Oh, I've overslept.
Why has he fetched us? Oh. Sure.
Alright, so do you want to see who our romance option is?
I'm curious.
Kibbles or Trixie?
Either.
Let's
Whoever
go
will
Trixie.
suit, yeah.
We've turned Trixie down so many times now.
Yeah.
Windmill slam Trixie. I can hear a strange tap-tapping sound, and it grinds on my brain until finally I have to go investigate. I've been tagging cats all morning, and the sun is high in the clear blue sky now, so it's time to take my break anyway. I decide to follow the sound. I make my way farther along the beach to inspect the rocks and cliffs that run around the perimeter of the island. Tap, tap, tap. It's hard to tell if it's getting louder or if I'm just more consumed by it. Suddenly the tapping stops and I hear a new sound altogether. It's a strange gurgling, like the sound of a babbling brook that runs through the deep forest. But I wouldn't be able to hear that all the way from the beach. I stand still and strain my ears, listening intently. There it is again. A short eruption of burbles. I look around and notice a barely concealed opening in the contours of the rock face. I feel compelled towards it. As I get closer, the gurgling shapes into gleeful giggles. Hello? I wait at the mouth of the cave, feeling like I've been lured here, but at the same time, like an intruder. Am I disturbing you?
Human!
Oh, Trixie, it's you. What are you doing here? I couldn't hear you from all the way up the beach. I could hear you from all the way up the beach. You're a long way off base.
I could ask you the same thing, human, but I won't be, because I know you're here. You're drawn to me. I knew you'd come sooner or later. I made nice for your visit.
Oh,
Well, come on in, Humi.
And she's disappeared into the darkness of the cave.
Ooh.
I squeeze myself in after her as my eyes adjust to the gloom. I am, at the same time, taken aback by the light. We're in a small cavern which should be pitch black, except it's not. There's a light source that my brain can't quite understand immediately. The rocks, or at least some of them, are radiating with a warm golden pink glow, which gives the tiny cave a peculiar ambiance, almost like a trashy nightclub.
Take a piece of space and make it yourself a home, Humi.
I sit where I've been standing, as there's not much room here. I start to take in my surroundings. Wow, Trixie, this is fantastic. All around us are different types of rocks, stones, and crystals, all different colors, sizes, and shapes. There are piles of the stuff in every nook and cranny, a little like Aladdin's cave. What exactly is this place, Trix?
It's my pad. It's where I do my thing. We all need our thing, don't we?
Yes, I suppose, but what exactly is your thing?
Minerals! I collect them. It's more than just collecting them, though. I embrace them.
You hug them? Trixie giggles.
Yes, I do! But that's not just what I meant. I connect with them and allow their properties to become a part of me. We combine our energies.
I'm not sure that I quite understand.
Look, it's easier if I show you.
The small cat begins nudging and pawing at some of the stones until she has lined them up in front of me.
Here, my island family, meet the Grand Dame.
She indicates a long, slender pink stone, quite smooth and elegant.
Feel her.
I run my fingers over the shiny, cold surface.
Remind you of anyone?
A smile breaks over my face and Trixie begins to giggle.
Yep, you got it. Only don't ever tell Snooty that I'm calling her Grandma. Here, how about this guy?
I'm presented with a large, squat chunk of rock, semi-covered with a kind of moss that gives us the appearance of having fur. As it turns, the light picks up the color and I can see a warm, rich amber tone, almost like marmalade. It makes me laugh out loud. That really is uncanny. It's the major in rock form.
Mineral, actually, but yes, Gramps has all the qualities to lead my little family.
I've already moved on to the next stone, and the resemblance is striking. It's a dirty green stone that fits very comfortably into the palm of my hand. It hasn't been polished like Snooty Booty, so it's a bit murky looking. There are small patches that have been rubbed clean from handling. They are a breathtaking emerald, catching the light so that the green sparkles refracting and dancing around the cave. It's beautiful.
Yeah, naughty Uncle McMurphy can be like that, don't you find?
Oh, he certainly can. His charm is very beguiling. So who's missing?
No one.
What about Kibbles?
Take a closer look, Humi.
I strain my eyes in the gloomy light and see a flat, jagged piece of stone next to Floofy Butt. It's a pebble!
She is a pebble.
We both laugh. It really does seem to capture Kibbles, but it's hard to say why.
It's the energy. Everyone, everything is energy, and we're all connecting by it. Allow me to demonstrate. Take my paw and close your eyes.
As I do as instructed and hold a tiny paw in my hand, being as gentle as possible because my fingers seem suddenly fat and clumsy by comparison.
What do you feel?
She's warm and fragile, and I feel almost like giggling. A bit tipsy, really.
Okay, now keep your eyes closed and hold my other paw in your other hand.
When I have both of her paws, the feeling is intensified. I begin giggling out loud despite myself, and I'm overcome with a delicious feeling of joy.
Open your eyes!
I look down and see that I'm only holding one of Trixie's paws, and the other hand is a small, clear crystal, completely smooth. Oh wow, but how? It felt just like your paw, warm and furry.
I know!
Trixie is laughing.
You're feeling the energy. This is me.
Trixie indicates the crystal. Oh my goodness, Trix, this is so cool. Thank you for letting me meet you all. I notice her face change. She looks as though she's been hurt. Oh, Trixie, what is it? Are you okay?
This isn't all of us.
What?
There's someone else in my island family, but we don't talk about her anymore.
Oh?
She was the coolest sister ever, but she's not with us anymore.
Oh, Trix, did she pass away?
No such luck. She's being kept alive.
Trixie nudges a small black piece of stone towards me. I pick it up and look at it closely. There's thousands of specks of glitter running through it, giving it an iridescence. It looks like the night sky. I close my eyes instinctively, and I'm immediately overwhelmed by the most intense sadness and despair. It feels as though all the pain in the world is captured in this little black gem. Gosh, Trixie, what on earth happened to her?
I can't say. Not yet anyway.
She's taken the stone and hidden it before I even realize it's gone. And suddenly her mood has changed completely back again.
We need to get you one too, Humi. You should be mineralized, don't you think?
I would be honored, Miss Trixie.
You're really quite open for a scientist.
It's actually a requirement that in order to be a good scientist, you remain open-minded.
Let me read your tarot.
I'm a bit thrown. That came out of nowhere. I don't know about that.
Not as open-minded as you like to think then?
That's not fair. I just wasn't expecting it.
Come on then, yes or no?
Alright, I want to know everything. I played tarot once in uni. It was great fun.
Oh, Humi, tarot isn't a game.
Of course not. Go on then. Tell me who I'm going to marry. Trixie lets out a small snicker. I don't know why, but I'm starting to feel a bit nervous. The Calico Cat produces a pack of cards with an intricate pattern on the back. Wow, that's a cool deck. Where did you get it?
McMurphy got it for me. He won't tell me where from. He finds the coolest things.
Trixie places a pack of cards on the floor, begins waving her paws over it, and lets out a strange yowling sound. Finally, she stops and fans the cards out in front of me.
Okay, your turn. Close your eyes and slowly run your hands over the cards until you feel drawn to one. Touch it lightly. Repeat until you've chosen 3 cards.
I self-consciously do as I'm told, relieved that I'm not expected to make yowling noises too. I touch 3 cards, and when I open my eyes, Trixie's holding them in her paw, looking thoughtful.
Very interesting. Your past is the fool, ha!
Persona!
Yes! The lovers is in your present position. How scandalous. And you have justice in your future, but you'll be handing it out or receiving it. Very interesting.
Is that good interesting or bad interesting?
There's no such thing as good and bad, really. It's all just information to help you if you choose to listen to it.
Okay, I'm all ears. Are you going to tell me that I'm a bit of a fool who falls in love and gets my just desserts? I notice that Trixie's become quiet and thoughtful as she studies the 3 cards. feels like an age before she speaks.
The position of this card represents your past, everything that has led you to your current situation. The Fool is all about innocence and spontaneity, is the first card in the major arcana, and signifies beginnings. The Fool portends important decisions ahead, which may not be easy to make and involve an element of risk for you. It is a powerful card not to be underestimated. The next position in your current situation. The Lover's card can be a misleading card because it suggests being all about romance, but actually, it's far more about making difficult choices. It warns that you need to consider things very carefully, because although a positive outcome is more indicated, when this card is present, it also reminds us that pain is seldom avoidable. Finally, we have your outcome card, Justice. This augurs well for you, human. It is the most karmic of the tarot cards. If you behave with integrity, loyalty, and courage, you will achieve fantastic results and gain the highest possible successes. Beware, though, that the sword cuts on both sides of the blade. If you sow the seeds of discord, you'll reap disharmony in your life.
There's a longish pause, and I realize she's finished my reading. Thank you, that was fantastic. You're really good. What did it mean?
Oh, really, Humi? What did I say about listening?
I heard every word, I just don't know what it means.
Then go away and think about it.
I will. I'll try.
Just remember that it's all about interpretation.
And listening?
Interpreting the cards is listening. You need to listen to your inner voice, and the cards will help you hear it.
I have much to learn.
And I'm happy to teach you, Humi.
She's beaming and glowing in the strange half-light of her magical cave. The effect is quite hypnotic. Well, I shall look forward to that, but right now I have a date with a microscope.
Soon, Humi, soon.
I make my way out into the bright sunshine and take a deep breath. I'm not sure what all that was about, but I think I rather liked it.
I think that was a successful date.
I think so? Well, we had 3 dates and 5 encounters, right?
Yep.
Sherlock 2. I'm ramming these extras.
Yeah.
We are not getting through this game in today's stream. This game's so long.
We're like 50% research-wise.
I know, we're like halfway through the game, right?
Yep.
I'm awoken by the sound of music filling my tent. Music? What the? I grab my torch and fill my tent with a bright light, and I see the bizarre spectacle of a cat in a cape and a deerstalker playing a violin. This is too weird even for this island. Be quiet, you're gonna wake the whole camp.
I'm afraid he can't stop until he's completed the entire coda? OCD, you know.
Why is he playing in my tent in the middle of the night?
It's what he does.
Well, can't he do it somewhere else?
It's what he does when he's near to working something out. On the edge of the precipice of enlightenment. God damn it, I'm beginning to sound like him.
And what does that have to do with me?
It's your little mystery he's working on.
At that moment, the music ends with a flourish, and I begin clapping instinctively. I stop, irritated with myself for encouraging him. Sherlock takes a little bow.
I have it!
Have what?
Come, clothes, shoes, outside.
And he's gone.
We better get dressed and meet us outside.
I do as I'm told, cursing myself for going along with this nonsense. It's the middle of the night, and I have work tomorrow. When we reconvene out in the cold of night, Sherlock is pacing up and down, flinging his little cat arms around as though he's conducting an orchestra. I lean in closer to Watson and whisper so that only he can hear. What's he doing now? He whispers back.
Helps him to think.
Can we get on with it, please?
Follow!
He stretched off towards the back of the labs. We come to a halt at the incinerator pits.
Oh no. Regard, if you will, the small white particles of grit at the epicenter of incineration, resistant to total cremation. The remains of teeth, possibly?
Before we can comment, he's striding off again.
Bear with him, it's usually worth it.
I trapeze behind him until we stop again. This time we're outside Professor Popper's tent.
We'll need to be stealthy. What I want you to see lies within.
We can't go into the professor's tent. He's in there sleeping.
My powers of stealth are beyond what is the expected range of a normal feline, or any animal for that matter. I'm trained to the highest level of the art of... what? Kakate?
Yeah.
For many years I studied under
Oh, just get on with it. But if he wakes up, you're going to carry the can. Do you understand?
My dear child, I understand the greatest problems posed to humankind's greatest thinkers. I doubt I shall be taxed by a nincompoop of your caliber. Now, Holmes, be nice, and be quick. I might add that Klein's teeth are chattering.
Actually, stop. I'm taking back my own forcefulness, and even the great Holmes stalks in his tracks. I want you to come back to my tent right now and explain whatever it is that you think you know. No more of this theatrical showing off. Just tell me like a normal person. Cat.
As you wish, but it won't be nearly so.
It's my turn to stride off and leave him mid-sentence. We've settled back into the warm, and Sherlock has reinflated his ego.
I have a theory, and until it's proven it, that's all it is, a theory about what this island is for, the secrets it keeps, or secrets if my deductions prove true.
I'm very tired. Could you please just tell me your theory so we can all go back to bed?
I'm still working on individual components of the larger picture, however, for this evening, and to whet your appetite I shall disclose and leave you with this. There are deviants that walk this earth under the guise of normality, whose aberrations, if exposed, would shock you to your core.
Okay.
I intend to prove that this very island is home to those who practice, to one whose practices are not only unlawful, but also unthinkable.
When are you going to actually tell me anything, Sherlock?
Yes, Holmes, come on now. We need to get along. I refuse to be rushed and bullied in this vulgar way.
We just want you to say something of significance that makes some sense.
Human sacrifice.
Well, that shut us up. I wait for him to continue, but of course he strings it out as long as possible for dramatic effect.
The offering of human babies in sacrifice is an ancient practice. The demand for virgin blood by the dog gods is widely recognized as...
Sorry to interrupt you as full flow, but are you saying that there's sacrificial rituals going on here, right under my nose, that I haven't noticed?
Why would you not noticing what's right under your nose be noteworthy? May I remind you that I need to point out that you, the human teeth in... the human teeth in the incinerator, a place you inspect daily.
Exactly, Holmes. I tend to those pits as part of my daily routine, and so I know them inside out. What you're referring to as teeth are actually the small pebbles that cling to the roots of the plant samples we burn after testing. Pebbles don't burn. In fact, they collect and alter the temperature of the incinerator, so I have to clear them out twice a week. Sherlock is uncharacteristically quiet. Watson looks deeply embarrassed. So unless you have any other ridiculous notions you'd like to share with the group, I suggest we all say night-night. Good night.
You have no idea the danger your ignorance places you in. I shall not be deterred by your lack of cooperation, but shall return shortly with irrefutable evidence. Good evening.
I'll call for you if I need you.
I'm sorry for the, well, everything really. We'll wait to hear from you. Adieu.
This is great. Finally, we're getting somewhere about this Cat Island mystery. And I think this is climbing our antidote research a little bit.
Is it? To like free antidote?
Maybe. Yes. More Sherlock?
Okay.
I mean, what do you want to do? We could do some research, we could do some recon, we could date Trixie again.
Let's see what recon there is right now.
Okay, there's Recon 8. Time to focus on finding an antidote. I've got to run some tests on myself and get things moving faster. I'm running out of time. Self-analysis.
It's like a lot of progress, okay.
Yeah, probably. And the research. Oh, we got 2. Today it's off to the beach to tag some cats, and it seems like the professor is adding DIY, and I've been asked to help the caretakers. We can find out more about the caretakers.
There's also a third one. Research 7.
Oh, yeah. Oh! It didn't get completed, because we said no. But not completing it opened up the Sherlock thing.
It did, so maybe we can find more out without actually hurting cats.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting!
I wonder if the extra Sherlock stuff will sort of further the storyline without furthering our research on cats.
Well, what?
Like, it'll have the conclusion of filling the research bar, perhaps, once we finish the extra Sherlock material.
Mm-hmm.
But then we don't have to hurt any cats.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, this is a really long game.
There's a lot of cats.
I didn't realize this was such a large commitment I was signing us up for. I'm loving it, though. This is great. I'm really enjoying this. All right.
That's weird.
Recon, research, or extras, or romance, Joe?
Let's do that one recon. I want to know.
A store page said about 10 hours of gameplay. Well, we're reading everything, so we're slower.
Yeah.
I've been devoting all the time I can spare to working on an antidote for the catification process. Although that's not an entire failure. Process is slow, and I'm concerned that I may be running out of time. It's time I did some more tests on myself to record how the virus is progressing in me and what effect it's having on my body. And that should give me some idea of how much time I have left before it becomes too difficult to hide the problem from other people. I'm sneaking around in the middle of the night because I can't risk getting caught. I can't risk getting found out by Professor Popper or the Maricodes. The only person likely to check up on what I'm doing at this hour is Zane, the security guard, and I'm confident he won't have a clue about what any of this stuff means. I start by taking my own blood, which is never an easy thing, but trying to find a vein when you're also trying not to look is very tricky indeed. I take several missed stabs before I get it right, and I take as much as I dare without making myself feel woozy. I take the saliva swabs from the inside of my mouth, inside my nostrils and my ears, and finally from my groin. I seal each swab in its tube and label them 007. Corny, I know, but it makes me smile. I'm also pretty certain that no one will pay much attention to the numbers. Everything is numbered around here, so you tend to go blind to any number that isn't the particular one you're looking for. Next, I tweeze out individual hairs from my head, eyebrows, arms, legs, and groin. Each hair is prepared and placed onto a microscopic slide. Finally, I take clippings from my finger and toenails. Some I prepare onto slides, and some I put into test tubes for testing various reactivity to different agents. I'm quite sleepy by the time I've prepared all my specimens, and I'm starting to think maybe I should freeze this lot and call it a night. When I hear something moving around outside, I go poke my head out, but it's too dark to see anything. Hello? Nothing. Is somebody there? Do you want something? This place can be very creepy sometimes. This little diversion has made me feel much more alert, and with my second win, I decide to press on with my testing. I work steadily for the next hour and a half before I can draw any conclusions. The short-term results indicate that not much has changed from the last time I did this. Clearly, I am not progressing very fast, which is a big relief. However, I can see some marked changes from before. Mostly these are based on the rate of cell growth and a movement within the nail clippings and hair samples. Everything is growing more quickly. I'm a little disappointed not to have seen anything more informative, but I must remind myself to be careful what I wish for. I place the long-term tests at the back of the specimen fridge and will check up on them in 24 hours. There's not much else I can do now. I clear away all the equipment I have used and leave the place in exactly the condition I found it. Even Mrs. Marigold wouldn't suspect I'd been in here. I'd just hitting my tent when I hear a noise coming from behind me, from inside the lab. I walk back and call from outside. Who's in there? Silence. I have security with me? I hear how ridiculous this sounds and curse myself for being idiotic. I walk into the lab, put the main light on, and I am stunned to see the tests I put in the fridge out on the lab table. I have no idea what to do, so I just put them back at the fridge. But this time I use the padlock on the fridge door. Nobody ever bothers with it, and I often wondered why it's even there. I don't want somebody getting at my blood samples. I'm too freaked out to think straight now. I need to go to bed. I turn towards my tent, and there's a huge dark outline of a man in my path. It's Zane. Evening.
Evening. Working?
Yep. Doing security?
Yep.
Good night, then.
Good night.
And he turns to walk away, and I catch him say, almost, in a whisper.
There's the monthly stock take of the fridge tomorrow morning.
I turn to ask what he means, but he's already gone. I realize I'm being given a helping hand, so I go back to the fridge and get my samples. I'll take them to my tent and see if I can't grab some ice from the mess kitchen on the way.
Huh, an ally. Did not think that.
No. I have been immensely distrustful of Zane.
Yeah, he's seen a lot.
Huh, he's helping us? Dun dun dun.
Okay.
Oh wow, look at that antidote percentage.
Yeah,
Alright, so we're at 47.2.
Let's see.
Let's
happens.
do a Sherlock Holmes bit.
Okay.
Because I'm loving these bits. They're super fun.
These
Yeah.
cats.
We're not finishing this game today, guys.
No, we've got more cats, more new cats.
Raven subscribed for 15 months in a row saying, woo, 50 months. Also, hello, Joe and Kathleen.
Hello.
I'm coming to the end of my field work for today. It's been a long morning that has taken me close to the opposite end of the island. I don't often get out this far, so I decided to take a break here and eat my lunch. I'm just relaxing with a tuna wrap and apple juice when the peace and quiet is disrupted by the familiar sound of violin. Sherlock, is that you? Watson pokes his head out from behind the rock I'm leaning against.
You're quite far away from home today. Aren't you nervous being so close to the enemy?
Oh, really, Watson? I thought better of you. You sound like you've been spending time with Floofy Butt. The original Elder Cats are not the enemy.
No? Are they your friends?
Well, no, not exactly, but that's only because they're understandably suspicious of why we're here on their island.
Your first error, my dear.
He has stopped playing with his violin and deigned to join us. Hello, Holmes.
By what evidence do you deduce that this is their island?
They were here first?
And you know that how? Quite. You jump to their erroneous conclusions based on assumption and zero factual verification.
I'm not in the mood for him today. Either make him wind his neck in or I may have to muzzle him.
Try to be patient. He means well. He's just not very socialized.
Okay, come on then, Sherlock. Let's hear it. What do you have for me?
I have devoted myself to the task of unraveling your problem, and I believe I am on the point of a denouement.
Denouement. Denouement is like the thing that happens after the climax. It's the happy ending. And then they got married and pooped out 90 kids. Plain English, please.
He's about to reveal all. What an extraordinary fitting backdrop for the staging of this revelation. You see over there the shadow cast against the rocks?
He's pointing in the direction of the Elder Territory. I screw my eyes up against the glare of the sun and look at the wall of grey rock in the distance, and he's right. I can make out the shadow of the giant cat statue that sits in the middle of the danger zone. So, that's always been there. You're hardly disclosing any groundbreaking developments.
Au contraire, my dear. It cannot always have been there. Someone must have put it there.
Well, yes, but long before any of us arrived, believe me, no one would like to understand how it got there and what it signifies more than me, but unless we find a way to communicate with the elders, it's going to remain a mystery.
And that is my stock in trade.
Go on then, tell all! I continue with my lunch.
It's very simple, actually. The statue of Basset, your goddess, was erected by your leader rather by his minions under his direction.
I stop eating. Our what? By who? Watson, help us out here before we lose patience.
I think what my learned friend is trying to tell you is that you are in a cult, and Professor Popper is the charismatic leader.
There is a moment of silence when nobody moves until it's broken by my sudden burst of laughter. A cult?
Not just a cult, but to be precise, the cult of Basset, feline goddess of Egypt.
I'm finding it hard to breathe for the laughing. And who's in this cult and why?
All of you, of course, each seeking out a place to belong, each running away from something.
Such as?
Take a look, if you will, at the containers you've been filling all morning.
Plant samples, yes.
And you'll be taking these plant samples too?
The marigolds. Look, you obviously know all this already, so can we cut to the chase? Are you going to tell me what you think you know about Mr. and Mrs. Marigold?
Clearly, I will have to spell it out to you. It is my belief that they each have to seek protection and concealment on this island from both the authorities and rival drug barons.
I look over at Watson for some sign of sanity, but he has buried his head in his paws and obviously thinks the same as me. Okay, the Marigolds are what? Drug dealers?
They're in the business of manufacture and distribution of illegal mind-altering substances. Or at least they were, until something drove them out of business and forced them to begin again here.
Oh.
The professor has taken them in and now put them to work for him in exchange for his silence.
How did you ever come up with this in the first place?
Exactly, my dear. Just look at the evidence in front of you. They are cultivating a herb garden under your nose. The professor has you believing whatever he chooses.
Right, okay, I've had enough of you and your crackpot ideas. Take your little violin and go fiddle off elsewhere, Sherlock, before I
can tell you, you are in no mood to open your mind and take seriously the proposals I put forward, and so I'll take my leave of you. But in my absence, ponder this. When you engage in the trance-inducing maneuvers your leader trains you in daily, can you be sure he's not gaining control of your mind, body, and spirit?
Oh my god, yoga! He's teaching us yoga! He's already gone and I'm shouting into an empty space.
I can only apologize and ask that you don't think too harshly of him.
How do you do it, Watson? How do you put up with him?
I suppose I care for him rather deeply. Good day.
I feel a little shamed for not caring a bit more than I do.
Is it the yoga the cats were doing as they were meditating around the statue?
Yeah. I feel like maybe, I don't know, that didn't advance our research at all. But it's fun.
Well, yeah. I guess we're not unlocking an antidote by doing that.
No, but it's fun. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's at least clearing out not right things. Right? You know, it's like, it's not this.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a pretty good guess at what this game is doing right now. Okay, here's my guess.
Okay.
That this island will make you immortal. But at the you turn into a cat at the cost of your humanity, and you don't remember being a human.
Yeah.
Right? Like Brad was starting to forget his name, is where he came from, as you turn into a cat. And the elders are the one that Professor Popper is talking to. They're the ones who are like trying to get him to reverse the process so they can, because they're basically mostly feral now, or his contact is trying to get him to fix the elders.
I see.
There's powerful people who went and didn't understand the true secrets of the island and were transformed into cats somehow magically.
Yes, I mean, like, he's working for some sort of
I don't think the
pharmaceutical beauty company.
Yeah, I don't think the elders are feral.
No.
So
well,
much.
I mean, we don't know if they actually attack us, though.
Yeah, maybe they've just completely forgotten what it's to be human, so they're like basically just werewolves, right? Full-time werewolves, right?
Yeah, but they're still taking the time to meditate in front of the statue.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, they have completely abandoned all humanity, and they'll live forever. And maybe the original, like a bunch of the elders are the sailors who washed up here, and then the people who came to find them, right?
That could be.
Maybe like the sister that was referenced in the letters is like the long lost descendant or something like that, of like trying to like figure out how to get her brother back or something.
Maybe.
Crazy. Anyhow, those are my professional writer theories, because I am technically.
I mean, they talked about pirates at the very beginning and not since.
Yeah. I just want to run all of the Sherlock stuff back. It's so much fun.
Do you think this is like an entire chain and it just keeps going on?
Yes,
to the right?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm just having a lot of fun taking a break from the normal story of this game.
Let's do that.
Or what would you want to do?
No. I think it's fun.
And I could be wrong. I reserve the right to be wrong. I've been helping with deliveries this morning. There are only 3 boxes left, which I'm attempting to carry in one run. So the final box is perched precariously on top of the other 2. Bob recommends that I only take 2 at a time, but I want to get on with other things. I'm inching my way blindly along the jetty path, regretting my impatience, when suddenly something flies out of nowhere and the 3 boxes go scattering in front of me, tripping me up into the bargain. What the?
Are you bowing before me?
I don't know. I know who that infuriating voice belongs to before I look up. Sherlock, what are you doing? You scared me half to death.
Allow me to help you up. We are most terribly sorry.
Thank you. I'm sure you are, Watson, but I find it hard to believe he understands what sorry feels like.
Sorry is a word, my dear. You cannot feel a word.
He's about to launch into one of his rhetoric marathons, so I interrupt him before it's too late. Like a juggernaut, very difficult to stop once it's at full speed. Never mind all that. Why are you here? I didn't call for you.
Exactly. You didn't call, so I needed to come unannounced. I have news, a breakthrough.
Really?
I've been ruminating. The picture is becoming clear. More of the dots are joining. The great jigsaw that is overwhelming you has just found another piece. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a quarter piece.
He's so frustrating. Are you saying that you found something out?
Well, indeed! I'm not so sure. Something highly significant has come to me.
Oh.
Don't get your hopes up. In a dream!
Oh.
Yes, afraid so. The greatest thinkers of all time have relied upon the hallucinatory guidance of dreaming, not the dreams of the sleeper, shut down and flabby. No, the dreams I speak of are self-induced, insightful, from a trance, the opening of subconscious mind while the frontal lobe is distracted. Hypnotism.
Sorry.
He's talking about self-induced hypnosis. He practices it a lot. It looks a lot like sleeping.
Ah. So you may as well tell me, now that you've caused such mayhem. I used to look around and see that one of the boxes has burst open when it hit the ground, and the contents are scattered around us. I begin to gather them up when Sherlock snatches one out of my hands.
The very proof! This, Watson! This is what I'm talking about.
Tins of tuna, what about them?
I've tried to tell him. To you, these may be innocent tins of tuna, but to me, they represent corruption and deceit. That is the very heart of this god-forsaken island and the cult that inhabits it.
This again.
He thinks he's worked it all out.
Oh.
And so I have, if you all stop jabbering for one moment and allow me to speak.
Watson and I exchange a look of exasperation and allow Sherlock to take center stage.
This
He holds up the tin of tuna again.
is no ordinary can of fish. It is more like a can of worms. The most cursory of investigation uncovers that what we really have here is the contraband of these two latter-day pirates who plunder the waters of Water Ocean and peddle their ill-gotten gains to the unsuspecting merchants on the mainland.
I lean in close to Watson so that Sherlock doesn't overhear me. Joe and Bob?
Yes,
Pirates.
would seem so. Their unscrupulous fishing methods have drawn the attention of world-renowned vigilante environmentalist army, Librevert, who have hounded them across the salty battlefields and forced them to retreat into hiding here within your very cult.
He's unhinged, isn't he?
I fear so. Here, amongst the drug peddlers and cross-dressers under the protective...
Whoa, hold it there, Sherlock. Say that last bit again.
In spite of your mulish refusal to accept the truth, the caregivers and the security guard.
Zane?
The very same.
Cross-dressing. Watson emits a small groan and bows his head.
How else would you explain the bottles of nail varnish, the perfumed skin creams, the nylon stockings size XXL, all flung indiscriminately around the camp with the abandon of a cheap burlesque?
Let me just stop you there for one moment, you utter numpty.
Oh, steady.
Not that it would matter one jot if anyone chose to cross-dress, or that it would be any of your business. But just for the sake of accuracy, allow me to educate you. The nail varnishes belong to a previous research assistant. The stockings are used in the hope of catching small airborne life forms that might help our research. And as for the creams, that is a mystery that I've been investigating and researching since my arrival on this island. A mystery that you, oh great detective, have been no help with whatsoever.
Ah, no.
Notice, if you will, the word research was used several times in my statement, and that's because I am a scientist, and in science we do not present a prognosis unless we have done the research to uncover sufficient evidence to lend our findings credibility. There are no facts underpinning your theories, Mr. Holmes, and that reduces them to the level of balderdash.
I see the way it is. The truth can be hard to swallow, and with her pride as accompaniment, it may be altogether unpalatable. Perhaps, Watson, it would be kind to leave our client to digest these revelations in private.
That's possibly the most insightful idea you've had so far.
When you see how wrong you've been and how right I am, you'll be grateful that I've spared you public humiliation.
Watson has gotten to his feet and is tugging Sherlock's coat sleeve.
Indeed, my friend, let's go and eat some of this excellent tuna for lunch, and you can explain to me how you managed to solve this ticklish conundrum so brilliantly.
I stand with my mouth open, watching them leave, not quite believing what I'm hearing when Watson turns back to me and winks. It's a small gesture, but it makes everything fall into place. Of course, Watson knows it's nonsense, but he'll allow Sherlock to believe he's right simply because he loves his friends and accepts him for who he is. No embarrassment. Godeke has subscribed for 46 months in a row, saying meow. I feel touched as I bend down to pick up the remaining tins of fish. We can all do with a bit of that in our lives.
Achievement unlocked. Elementary.
Wow.
Very well.
Yeah, this isn't getting us any closer to research, but where's number 5 go?
We haven't
Whoa!
locked it yet?
There's no way to get to number 5. Interesting.
Not yet. I guess we have to further the story.
Whoa, weird.
That's exciting.
I figure there is no fun. If we look at the extras, there's this and there's this. But maybe they're all not. Maybe these are separate little side stories.
Yeah, maybe we'll unlock them after we refuse to do something else.
Huh. Alright, well, let's romance Trixie again.
Sure.
Yeah, we got the achievement, so that's probably it.
Yeah,
They
did kind of wrap it up by him just being like, yeah, I'm just humoring this cat.
Yeah.
So.
Darn it! I wanted information!
They weren't going to just give it to us.
Rah! I'm very invested.
Come on, Humi. At this rate, you'll have to go back before we even get there.
I'm not built like you, Trex. Not yet, anyway. You need to cut me some slack. These cliffs are hard going. Andrew subscribed for 31 months in a row saying it's romance time!
Woo! Hi, Andrew.
We're very, 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 very bad at romancing cats, as it turns out.
Well, maybe these personalities will just fit better, and this cat will be romanced.
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like Stephanie is very serious and very studious. But maybe she's willing to do new things for the sake of adventure.
I mean, she could just be like a scientist that's also very into
Whoa.
crystal stuff.
Ugh. Having realized I'm the only member of the family not to be represented in rock form, she's become obsessed with finding my crystallized doppelganger. I'm both flattered and unnerved at being a member of a cat family. I try not to overthink of it. Can we take 5 so I can catch my breath, please?
That's okay, we're here, just over the edge. Look. Ooh.
A new background. As we catch up to Trixie, I instantly see what she's referring to. As soon as my head gets above the cliff we're climbing, I'm confronted with a kind of rock basin. It's almost volcanic looking, as though something huge once fell here and left an almighty indentation. What is this, Trixie?
Jump down, it's perfectly safe.
The nimble little cat has made it down to the plateau in a couple of swift leaps and is looking up as though encouraging a child into a swimming pool.
It's easy, just spring up and glide down.
For you, maybe. I'm a lot less cat than you might think. But I stumble around. I find it surprisingly easy to find my footing, and my legs feel springier somehow, taking me higher than I expected when I jump. The landing feels soft and sure-footed. Maybe all of this island exercise is making me fitter.
Bravo! Maybe you're a lot less human than you might think.
While I've stopped feeling pleased with myself and taken my surroundings, I have to catch my breath. I feel as though I'm standing in a prehistoric time warp. Where are we? What is this?
Close your mouth, Humi! The loose sights will get in.
The what?
Never mind. Let's just get some of this and dodge for the high road.
Some of the expressions used, Trixie, you make me laugh. Were you born on this island? She's clawing at the rock like it's a scratch post.
My parents brought me here in 1967.
Really? Do you remember?
No, the last one told me.
You mean the person who worked here before me? How did... But I'm silenced by her abrupt interruption.
Thanks for all the help.
I realized I've done nothing and jump up to see what I can do, but Trix seems to have what she came here for.
Take this.
It's a shard of black and silver.
Hold it in your hands and feel the character. Try to blend with it.
I do as I'm told, but the only thing I feel is foolish. I'm not sure. Perhaps I'm not very rock-like?
Mineral!
Sorry.
Okay, leave it. We'll have to try again elsewhere, but to be honest, human, I'm running quite low on ideas for you.
I feel guilty that I'm so difficult to place. I wonder if I should try to make it better. I feel like we admit our skepticism.
Of the rocks?
Yeah.
I was gonna bluff it.
Oh no, okay, because the thing is, here's my read. Every time we've tried to make the cats happy, it's not worked out well for us.
Well, I guess if they're having trouble finding a rock that suits us, then maybe we're like, yeah, this is tough.
Sometimes it depends on the personality. Alright, chat, what do you think we should do? Should we bluff through it or admit skepticism?
Yeah.
I think we got to admit our skepticism and be honest.
If we're not connecting with the rock, like, maybe we'll find a better rock.
Yeah. Admit. Andrew says admit. Admit. Bluff. Oh. Be honest. Karma says so. Oh, yeah. Always tell the truth. Admit to the bit.
Okay.
Joe, if your romance sense is tingling, I'm so sorry.
Let's admit.
I'm bad at romancing things, apparently. I've been very... Well, I think we were okay with failing all of Snooty Booty's dates. And we did well with McMurphy, until we're like, no.
Yeah, until we humored his racism. I think that's a little different.
No, that was the major that we humored the racism for, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, McMurphy was fine. He was just like...
Yeah. We were just like, no, let's be friends.
Oh, that's really bad. Look, I know I'm not very open to this stuff, but the truth is, it makes me feel a bit silly. Like, there's this great game, and I'm the only one who doesn't know how to play.
That's not a game, Fumi. It's very real to me.
I see that, and I believe that you are being totally genuine. It's just me. I'm some kind of Luddite, I suppose. Trixie starts gurgling. Her strange little laugh cuts through the tension, and I start laughing too. More from relief that she's not angry with me than anything else.
I was worried!
Oh, yes!
Whoa.
Her good humor picks me up. Look, let me have one last try, will you?
Be my guest, but I don't really mind calling it a day if you want to, Fumi.
I would love to stop and head back to camp for a glass of cold lemonade, but I feel like I owe Trixie more effort than I've been making. No, I am placing myself in your paws. I am prepared to do whatever it takes to get me in touch with my higher self.
Oh, good use of terminology, Fumi. 1 brownie point already. Okay, so, stand up and close your eyes.
I do as I'm told.
Now, feel the flow of energy come through your crown chakra, white light coursing through your body.
Crown chakra? I've already lost it, but I'm gonna try and follow what she's suggesting.
Wonderful. Now slowly raise one leg and extend it behind you. Find your balance.
I'm wobbling like a jelly.
Good. Now extend your arms out in front of you. Stretch right out. Now bring your right hand towards your face with your fingers splayed. She's pranking us.
I'm managing to keep a straight face. That's something.
Now bring your thumb to the tip of your nose.
Okay.
And wiggle your fingers.
Look at that kitty face. There's a stifled gurgling sound. I can't resist opening one eye. Trixie is rolling around trying not to laugh out loud. I see myself how ridiculous I look and I join in with her mirth. That was mean.
Humi, I'm just trying to lighten you up a bit. The best route to enlightenment is through joyful laughter.
Well, whatever Christmas cracker you read that in, it wasn't wrong. We lay on the ground for a while, soaking in the energy from the rocks, and I can honestly say that I felt nothing.
Don't worry, newbie. I'll channel it for you until your own channels are clear.
I have no idea what she means, but I feel very happy about it. Fucking nailed it!
Woo!
That was a good date.
Yeah.
I can't believe I just said that
made
about
the right choice.
about an astrology cat.
Well, we haven't run into the same problems with the other cats, so.
Yeah, no more extras to do.
Okay. How many hearts do we have?
Okay. No creepy scenes playing out. Yay! Recon?
Sure.
Today? Oh.
Let's find out what they're up to.
I'm interested in this game, but also I'm like, please just get it over with. Like, I feel like I'm being really drawn out along this thread.
I like that it's in line with the story they're telling, though, because, like, we had all those samples in the fridge, and then Zane was like, hey, we're clearing out, like, the lab and counting stock tomorrow.
Yeah.
And this is our next recon, is them counting stock.
Yeah. I know my morning alarm is ringing, but I can barely lift my eyelids. I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to today or dreading it. I've promised to go in 2 hours early to help with the monthly inventory and do a deep cleanse of the lab. It's not the work I'm anxious about, but the fact that I'm doing it with the marigolds. They're an odd pair. They certainly don't say much, and I quite often feel that they're judging. Oh well, the sooner I get there, the sooner it'll be over.
I thought they were trying to warn us.
As I approach the lab, I can hear their voices raised in stage-type whispers. They're obviously having a row. They're obviously having a fight that they don't want anyone else to hear. This is a very British game. I loiter around for a few minutes to see if I can pick up any tidbits that would be helpful. I'm not nosy, I'm just curious.
It's a cat, Mason, alright? A cat. All he cares about is sleeping and eating. Oh, that face. It's still a living thing, Mora. A living thing! It's glorified vermin, is what it is. You're putting us at risk. He isn't the sort of person to mess with, Mason. Loyalty to the company is the #1 priority in their eyes. Oh, no.
Oh, Uncanny Jim Jam says, just got home from work and what a surprise, now Kiss is on. Yes! For the next week, while everybody's away on Road Quest, now Kiss is moving to 1 p.m. to accommodate a different filming schedule. Also that I can't do Now Kiss that early. So yeah, I'm taking the crap shot slot. Nya, 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 nya.
I have been loyal. It's my allegiance that's changing, not my loyalty. Do you know how ridiculous you sound? Allegiance to who? A bunch of cats? Mora, you know they're not just cats. You knew we were... when we signed our contracts. Not fully. It's different anyway. In real life, living with them, knowing them. Knowing them? You know what I mean? I'm banging that cat. I know if you mess this up, we'll be destitute at best.
I can't put this off any longer.
They're so cute.
Good morning.
Ah, you're here.
I'm not late, am I?
Not at all. We were just discussing how to proceed.
They exchange glances.
You two can get on with the stock check. Leave the sanitation to me.
Sounds good to me. Where do we begin, Mrs. Marigold? Or Mr. Marigold?
Call me Mason. I have the list here, so I'll call the item.
Mason and Mora Marigold?
Yeah. You tell me how many we have.
Okay, Mason. If I'm in your way, just let me know, Mrs.
Marigold, yes. I'll be sure to it. But if we have each mind our own business, well, I'm sure it will all work out fine, dear.
The tension in the air is tangible. This could be a very long 2 hours. We start with the top shelf of the large metal cabinet.
Standard test tubes.
20 boxes.
Petri dishes.
10 boxes, mixed sizes.
Beakers, large.
25.
Beakers, medium.
20.
Only 20? That's a bit low. Have we had more breakages than usual?
I decided not to tell him that I sometimes use them as tea mugs, and there are at least 3 in my tent growing mold as we speak. Yeah, we've all been a bit clumsy lately. I know one was knocked off the counter by McMurphy this week.
Nothing but trouble, them cats.
Mr. Marigold continues with the stock take as though he didn't hear his wife. Move on to the next shelf and the next, and we've almost finished the entire inventory. We're coming to the end of the drugs cabinet.
Ketamine, 50 milliliters.
8 bottles.
That can't be right. It says here we normally stock 30.
See for yourself. 2, 4, 6, 8?
Do you use a lot of that then?
No. On the contrary, it's mostly just used for anesthetizing. We really do that kind of surgery.
Well, that's a mystery.
I wonder what it could be used for. Gnutnor! Wow! Guntor has cheered with 1,000 bits saying, mind our own business, right? Thanks for the stream, by the way. Thank you very much.
Yay. You two will be a lot quicker if you stick to your counting and leave the wondering to the professor.
We finished the rest of the job without any unnecessary chat. We all seem to be deep in our own thoughts. Mine are all about where that amount of ketamine might be disappearing to, and for what purpose. Suddenly I don't feel too good. Yay, 50%.
Alright.
Alright. Romance, research. Do we have any more recon that we can do, or we might have to do research to unlock it? Yes.
Yep.
There was a research thing with the marigolds.
Was there?
Yeah, we have to help them out doing the DIY stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 11, which is DIY, help the caretakers. 2, which is tag cats, and 7, which is the one we didn't complete earlier.
I like that it's still there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the DIY.
And then after that, we're probably done this stream. I'm writing in my journal. I've developed a habit of getting up early and writing for 30 minutes each morning before I begin my day. I'm often so tired at the end of the day that I just want to fall into bed and my journal gets neglected. Hey, Ray FK, subscribed for 46 months in a row, saying 46 months of friendship.
Friendship!
Yay! Also, I like the way it grounds me before this strange island sucks me into the adventure of a new day. This morning, my concentration is being broken by a very odd noise, and I realize it's the sound of someone trying to knock on my tent flap. Hello?
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt.
I recognize the voices belonging to Mr. Marigold, the island's caretaker. Oh, good morning, Mr. Marigold. I spring up to greet him. Can I help you? I would invite you in, but I'd indicate the chaos of my tiny tent.
Barely room to swing a cat, I know.
I laughed at his joke, but noticed his deadpan expression and realized he's serious. I quickly move on, stepping outside. Is there something I can help you with?
I hope so.
And that would be?
Mrs. Marigold is taken to her bed, proper sick. She is, so the boss said I should ask you to fill in for her today, if that's alright.
I know the professor well enough by now to understand that I don't actually have a choice. I am filling in for Mrs. Marigold today, whether it's quite alright with me or not, but actually, I'm quite intrigued. Great! I mean, sorry to hear your wife's poorly. Nothing serious, I hope, but I'm happy to spend some time with you, Mr. Marigold.
Well, best make an early start then. You get your shoes on, I'll meet you at the jetty.
Before I can say another word, he's disappeared off towards the water. I quickly put my journal back in its hidey hole and grab my backpack with the field kit in it before stuffing my feet into my trainers. We arrive at the jetty and I can see that Mr. Marigold has already started work mending the wooden rail where a couple of the posts were damaged in a recent storm. How can I help?
Just pass me those pins as I go along. Need to reinforce this and then recoat it with preservative.
I'm a bit disappointed. Just so you know, I can use a hammer too if you have a spare. We could get this mended much quicker with the two of us working on it.
There's no rush.
Oh. No, I suppose not.
You're here with me for the whole day anyway.
No, I didn't mean that. Actually, I'm pleased for the opportunity to break out a bit and try something different.
Bored of this place already?
He squints sideways at me. No, not at all. There's so much going on here. I haven't begun to uncover what half of this island has to offer, I'm sure. And it's just nice to have the chance to get to know someone new. Company is in short supply here.
Human company.
He mumbles it half under his breath, so I'm not certain he even said it. I beg your pardon?
You seem to be getting on with the cats though, eh?
Oh yes, I'm spoiled for choice with feline friends.
Be careful with that.
I stop and look at him. He holds my gaze. What do you mean?
Be careful with those pins. You're going to have them over the edge in a minute.
I look down and see that, and not paying attention, I have kicked the box perilously close to the edge of the jetty.
Closer to the edge than you thought.
I get the feeling we're not just talking about a box of nails. Yes, I wasn't paying attention.
Looking in the wrong direction. That's when we miss the things right under our nose that could cause problems.
Mr. Marigold. We've stopped what we're doing right now and standing up, looking directly into each other's eyes. Do you know something I ought to know?
Such as?
Well, obviously I don't know.
I know you're inquisitive, little blighter.
Have you been watching me, Mr. Marigold?
Keeping an eye might be a more accurate way of putting it.
Well, thank you. I think.
You're welcome, but I wouldn't be so quick to trust people if I were you. You don't know me or my intentions.
And suddenly, he lets out a roar of laughter and gets back to work. I have a feeling you're one of the good guys, Mr. Marigold.
Call me Mason.
I hand him pins and we say no more, but I go over a conversation in my head. I realize I've heard those words before. Something very like them. The nameless message on my catalog. Be careful who you trust, and it hits me. Mr. Marigold is my messenger.
Well, this cat dating is certainly getting on.
Yeah. I don't think we have time to do a whole nother thing. So I guess, once again, can you go over here and type
Mouse, come back.
yeah, exclamation point, now kiss. That will start a straw poll. And can you go to the poll view? We have a straw poll in chat. Are we coming back next week? So far, one person says God, yes. One person says no, God, no. 4 people, yes. 5 people, yes. Oh, look at these votes coming in at real time. And in the riding of West Lancashire, Upshire and Underplots, we have the Liberal candidate in the lead, nicely trailing the federal Liberal candidate. Blah, 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 blah. Looks like we're coming back for another week of Purrfect Date. I thought I could do this in 3, but Joe, you know what I'm thinking?
Only 50% antidote. Like, she literally just saw, we only saw half of what this island has to offer.
I'm guessing 5 or 6 sessions to get through this game. I'm so sorry I signed you up for such a long haul. I was like, it'll be like 2 max. The games are usually only like a few hours long.
Some good content.
We might successfully romance the cat this time. Yeah, we got there. We got there on that date.
I want to know what happens when we successfully romance a cat.
Me
too.
Do we
stay there and turn into a cat? Is there going to be another cat?
I don't know. No,
I don't die.
We probably still die.
I don't know.
Blue Monster 122 subscribed for 5 months in a row saying yay, and MTV CDM, one of our wonderful hardworking mods, has cheered with 85 bits. I don't want to romance Mr. Mason. He has a wife. And Rock Pusher has cheered with 51 bits saying thank you, Joe. Thank you, Kathleen. Hooray! Oh my goodness. That was insane. This game is really sucking me in.
Yeah, they've just added so much content.
Uh-huh. Dang, been trying to sort out what Now Kiss is and missed out on knowing, says the Sci-Fi Wasabi 74. Now Kiss is the stream where I play dating games, wherein for the most part dating games are weird as fuck indie games, because that is definitely more my speed, as I've discovered. I don't like the normal dating games, but I like this kind of stuff.
Yep.
And Mr. SVCD subscribed for 3 months in a row saying yay. Alright, it looks like there's not a ton of votes in our straw poll, but I feel like in chat everybody seems to be mostly okay with solving the mystery of Purrfect Date, which I swear to God I hope we could do next time, because that will be 4 sessions. But we're like halfway through Research Assistant number 4.
Yeah.
And number 6 has got to be fast. Or is it really slow?
I don't know. I mean, we still have, what, 1 more cat to romance after Trixie's
2 more
done?
cats. We have Kibbles and Mystery Cat.
Right.
Yeah. No, and then who else have we? We have.
Wait, how many?
There's
2
5
more
cats.
researchers.
We've done
don't we?
Trixie,
3?
Trixie, Floofy, the Major,
Yeah.
Snooty Booty,
Yeah.
McMurphy,
Yeah.
and Kibbles. No, Kibbles, and then I'm sure Ravenpaw or whatever her name is the last cat, because we unlocked that, and she's still locked.
Do we have enough researchers for this? I mean, we must.
Yes. There. Yeah. I don't know. This is amazing. I don't want to I feel really committed.
Yeah.
So I guess we're coming back again. Sorry, Joe.
Do it. We'll uncover these cat mysteries.
We'll solve the mystery of this damn cursed island.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us. This has been Now Kiss Ridiculous Cat Game Edition. Not so much dating as mostly just trying to figure out what's going on this evil island. And so, hey, if you are one of the people who thankfully or wonderfully and generously threw us a few bucks to help us make RoadQuest, updates are going out. It's a thing. So if you haven't gotten any of the emails you should have gotten, email info plus RoadQuest at loadingreadyrun.com. Paul is checking that. He'll be able to get back to you, and he'll be able to make sure that you're getting the updates that you need. And while RoadQuest is going on, the streams are a little different, but you know what we're still doing? The Friday night paper fight. So tune in 3 hours time for me and Cameron playing a Winston Chaos draft. How exciting! So I will see you guys in 3 hours. All right, bye everybody.
Bye.